Hey, welcome back to episode number 6 of Year of the Wager. Thanks for tuning in. Today we are going to be hopefully turning it around and not continuing on the downswing. In today's episode, we're going to be covering the Deuce to 7 $1,500 tournament at the World Series of Poker. It's one of my favorite games to play, so hopefully make sure to stay tuned for that. One of the things I love about playing at the World Series of Poker and also playing mixed games in general is that you tend to see the same people year after year. And you really start to build some relationships and some friendships. And I also ran into fellow poker vlogger Rampage Poker, so that was cool. He and Brad Owen and Mariano have all been inspirations to me to document the process, especially as it relates to mixed games, since I don't see a lot of that out there. And also, Year of the Wager is not just about placing bets, but it's also about traveling and having fun and treating yourself and really experiencing what life has to offer. So you'll see in this episode, I'm staying at the WYNN, which is one of my favorite properties in Las Vegas. Always luxury, always elegant. So you'll see a little bit of that too before we dive into some of the gambling action. But without further ado, here is Year of the Wager, episode number 6. So one of the most important things to be successful when you are playing in a poker tournament is to make sure that you have got your mind right. And part of getting your mind right is making sure that your environment is conducive to success and winning. And for me, that means staying in some luxury accommodations. I've switched resorts from Resort World to the WYNN. I mean, how can you argue with the WYNN? It is luxury, it is class, it is the epitome of a successful mindset. I love walking down the long hallways to my room with the rich chocolate carpet and, coming into the room where the curtains automatically open for you and you have a beautiful view of the Strip. You have excellent restaurants at the WYNN, and you got to make sure that you're going to eat get some good breakfast in you before you start your tournaments. You can always walk through the WYNN and look at all of the luxury shopping that they have so that you can imagine what you're going to potentially buy when you win the poker tournament. Sometimes they've got some exotic cars parked in the hallway, and you can imagine yourself sliding into one of these bad boys and driving off after you've won the poker tournament. They also have a great poker room, which I enjoy playing at when I can actually get a seat because it's often quite busy. But that's where we kicked it off and got our mind right so we can head over to day 1 of the Deuce to 7 tournament.
All right, players, for the Deuce to 7, please take your seats. You have about 10 minutes before we kick off. Feel free to take your seats.
Okay, let's talk about some memorable hands that took place on day 1 of the Deuce to 7 tournament. Early in the day, I started with a 2-4-5 and a 4-way raised pot, and I was in the big blind and made the wheel on the first draw, and 2 other players ended up making 7s as well. That is an absolute dream scenario. One of the players actually made number 2 when I had number 1. That's what you look for. The only unfortunate thing is it happened early in the tournament where the limits were still low. What's going on? we got Kelly making silly faces here. Kelly and I went to high school together. Yeah, I got to get back to Deuce to 7, but this is what the WSOP about, running into people you haven't seen in a long time. All right.
Yeah, go Troy.
All right, thanks. So for hand number 2, it was a $500, $1,000 level. Myself and another player, I was able to get a 76542 on the second draw and got called all the way down to the river and brought in a significant pot there as well. Hand number 3, I made an 86532, which is not that great of a hand, but it's good enough when you make it in deuce to 7. We were on the $500, $1,000 level. And my opponent was drawing 2 on the second draw and then drew 1 on the third draw and made 76542. That type of rundown drives me crazy, especially when you have to stay pat on an 8-6 hand and they're drawing 2 and still get there. But that's how deuce to 7 goes a lot of time, and you have to be able to weather the up and down roller coaster ride. All right, just ended level 9 at the deuce to 7 $1,500 triple draw event at the WSOP. Doing pretty good. I think I got an above average stack. Got a good table, having some good fun with the people at my table. I feel like I should have more chips, honestly, because I keep getting run down on the river on the third draw, but that happens in deuce to 7. It's just weird that they keep drawing when I'm pat so early with really good hands like 8 perfect, or my 8 perfects have lost about 3 or 4 times on the third draw today. So anyway, we got a few minutes here on break, but I'm feeling good. I feel like I'm gonna make day 2 for sure, and let's make this money. All right. A little bit later in the tournament on hand number 4, I start with deuce, deuce 7, brick, and call 3 bets out of position. Whenever you have 2 deuces and a 7, that's a good time to start thinking about potentially setting up a snow. So I call the 3 bets out of position. I draw to 2, 3, 6, 7, 7. So now 2 of the deuces and 2 of the 7s have come my way. But I draw again because I do have a good opportunity to actually make a good hand. And on my last draw, I actually make 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, get a check raise in, and I'm able to take down a big pot. So early in the tournament, a lot of pots are going my way, and that's a good thing. In the deuce to 7 $1,500 WSOP event with Rampage, he's 2-tabling at it as he tends to do. How you doing in this?
I have a set.
You got a set, so we don't want to distract him.
I have a set. But hello.
All right,
We're
there
firing
you go.
this.
2 commas, Rampage. I'm following his lead, getting some viewers. See you soon. So just finished level 12 in the deuce to 7 $1,500 WSOP bracelet event. Doing pretty good. I think we got 4 levels to go tonight. I got about 100,000 in chips, playing good. The table has definitely gotten harder. To my left, funny thing is the guy who won the bracelet, the WSOP bracelet in the $2,500 mixed triple draw event in 2019 is sitting on my left, and that's the year that I finished 37th in the event. So, he's got some skills, but it's revenge mode time, as Brad Owen would say, and I need to get some chips from him if I'm gonna make it to the next day. But I'm feeling good. I got about 100,000 in chips. It's break time. We got 4 more levels. I'm locked in, feeling good, feeling like we're gonna make the money. All right. So a little bit later on in the tournament, hand number 5 was where I tried to deliver a knockout blow and actually get someone out of the tournament. We were on level 13, 1,500, 3,000. I started with 7, 2, 3, 4. Little did I know that he already had 7, 6, 4, 3 deuce by the time we were going to the river, and I drew an ace, so I was not successful in that attempt. And then the last 4 hands that I played of the night, I actually lost all 4 of them in a row. Day 2 in the deuce to 7 tournament at WSOP, so we got to come back and cash tomorrow. That's what we're looking to do. We want to take it down. We want to get a bracelet. It was grueling. I was doing pretty good most of the day. I got up to a high point of 100,000 chips, but I lost the last 4 hands I played. I lost the last 4 hands I played in the last 20 minutes of the night, which has been a trend because that happened to me in the Badoogie tournament also. So I got to do better there, but I got enough chips to make a run tomorrow. So we'll see where we're at and if we can make some money tomorrow. All right. You can never find food at 2 a.m. in Las Vegas, so I had to head over to the Grand Lux to grab a burger. All right, day 2 of the Deuce to 7 tournament is today. I'm feeling good. It feels good when you wake up at a property like the WYNN, getting recharged and ready to start the day off after playing for 12, 13 hours yesterday. Feeling good. Coming in 68,000, I think, in chips, 63,000. And gonna take it down today, first place. Let's go. So on day 2 of the Deuce to 7 tournament, I realized that I was going to be under a lot of pressure to deliver and actually make it into the money and not bubble like I did in the Badoogie tournament. And so I wanted to get my mind right and start with a massage. And only in Las Vegas can you tell your masseuse that you're there for a poker tournament and today's an important day in order to win some money. And will they actually do meditations or affirmations about money and being successful and playing your best and winning while they're giving you a massage? I mean, you gotta tip your hat and give a round of applause to the customer service and can-do attitude of the skilled workers in Las Vegas that provide great customer service, because they really got my mind right to go into battle and take down first place on the day 2 of the Deuce to 7 tournament. So day 2 was actually taking place in the Horseshoe at the World Series of Poker, which is nice to walk over to a different section of the casino. So I was able to start off playing at the $1,500, $3,000 level, and started off with 7-5-4-3 and drew 1 and hit the 2 for the wheel while 2 other players were in the hand, and I got max value but no call on the river as everyone folded after they didn't make their hand. What was surprising is that the button actually broke after staying pat, which just means that the skill level has really gone up on day 2, and you're gonna have to play some really good poker. The next hand that I got into on day 2 was at the 2,000, 4,000 level. I was on the button with 7-6 deuce, brick. I get raised into and I call. I catch a 4 on my first draw, but my opponent stayed pat, and I decide to call his bets. But then I make a king on the river and decide not to call and fold. So not how we really want to keep going on day 2. And so hand number 3 on day 2, which was interesting, was that I started with 2-5-7 brick, drew a 10, and then pulled the 3 and decided to keep it. And luckily for me, my opponent made a jack, so I was able to take down a pot there. All right, so we just made the money in Deuce to 7 $1,500 WSOP tournament. So happy that I went ahead and bought into that. Now I'm trying to make the final table and get a bracelet. Trying to, as they're talking over me, trying to win this bracelet. I was on a really hard table with some, kind of pro-like type people, a couple people with bracelets, and I survived, chipped up, was doing pretty good. My table broke, got moved to another table where the players seemed to be playing really loose and staying pat on really bad hands where tons of cards helped me, and I just can't get there so far. So I've lost like 3 hands in a row on this new table. Not a good time to not catch the cards you need. So just need to reverse that, make sure I'm entering the pots with the best draws, which I am. I'm just not getting there right now. So anyway, I made the money. Now I got to buckle down and try and get to the final table. With 63 players left, I need to outlast 62 of them to take home $145,000 for first place. So let's go. So just got knocked out in the Deuce to 7 triple draw tournament at the WSOP in 53rd place. Not what I was looking to do. I'm happy I cashed though, but yeah, I moved to a new table and just got unlucky. Like, this guy, the big chip stack at the table, kept staying pat on bad nines, and I just couldn't catch. Then I finally made a 9 and stayed pat. And I told him, I know you got a 9. And he was like, he did have a 9 and decided to break it and got better, got a 7. Like, that's not supposed to happen. He's supposed to pair or brick there, and that would have doubled me up and allowed me to keep staying in the tournament. But hey, I cashed, and I will continue to fire. So I'm gonna go home tonight and spend a few days with the family and the kids and spend Father's Day at home, and then I'm back in Vegas next week for the mixed triple draw event, the horse event, I think, and a tag team event with my boy Steven. So we're gonna come out here and make it happen. All right. So I didn't want to look at my flight because I booked a flight, what I thought was for a red eye back to Atlanta at the end of day 2 of the Deuce to 7 triple draw tournament, but I didn't want to look at my flight because I didn't want to live into the reality that I was going to get knocked out on day 2. Turns out I missed my flight altogether and had to get rebooked, but the nice lady at Delta took care of me. All right, so a much better result than the previous experiences on Year of the Wager. And I'm really glad too, because I started to doubt myself a little bit and was even wondering if I should even play in the Deuce to 7 tournament. And obviously I'm glad that I did. It's now the 4th or 5th WSOP tournament that I've cashed in. So that's good. And I had a great time. I didn't get to play many other cash games during the process, so I was pretty much worn out and giving all my energy and focus to the Deuce to 7 tournament. So the results are what they are. We started the episode with a balance of $4,239. We won $1,503. And for good measure, we threw in a last longer with my man Triple S and got another $100. So our new balance in Year of the Wager is $5,842. We are on an upswing. We are on the right trajectory. So make sure to stay tuned and see how it continues to go. If you like this video, which I hope you did, please click the like button, share it with your friends, like that friend that you haven't seen since high school. Hit them up, let them know the video exists. Let her know. They really are looking forward to this type of material. Subscribe, hit the alert button, do all those things that YouTube, ask you to do. And I will see you in the next episode. Thanks.